the difference between custom objects and the standard object?
So at the moment you have your regular objects. So we've got our contacts, our companies, the deals, tickets, as you said, products, and so on. They can all be, first of all, interconnected between them. Out of the box, HubSpot allows you to connect a contact to a company, either manually or through automation. So in other words, there is an association between the contact and the company. So for example, if Perry at Penguin Strategies is the contact, then Penguin Strategies will be the company. And then if you go into contacts, you'll see which company is associated to that contact. And on the other hand, if you're going to the company, I can see all the people that are associated to the company. And the same thing that we can do with the deals. So that association between the objects allows us to connect and to have a whole array of rich data of properties on the company level, on the contact level, on the deal level, but connect between them through the association. So for reporting, I can use the different objects and I can see how many deals were created for this company or that were associated to this contact and so on.
If I want to decide, like if I'm getting started and I was like, okay, I want to create a custom object, what would be the criteria that I would know that I need to create a custom object rather than just create a field within an existing object?
The first question you need to ask is, can I just create a property? Okay. So for example, if I want to know types of contacts, I could just create a new property, call it contact type, and then I'll be able to differentiate between Perry, who is an end customer, and Perry, who is someone else in the database, let's say an employee. But if I need to get to the next level and I need specific fields around that customer type, then I jump into a problem. Why? Because then I have a list of properties under, let's say, we have our two objects. We have customer, okay, which is just a contact that comes in, fills out a form. And then we have people coming into our database and signing up as employees, for example. So I could just differentiate by contact type. But if I need to open now a whole array of information about the employees and connect them to different things, and I want to manage the same way I'm managing contact as an employee and track their data and track their emails and track whatever they're doing, in other words, have all the functionality that HubSpot gives me, then I need to ask myself, maybe it makes sense to have a new object, okay? Why? Because this object will be a unique object, which is called, for example, employee. So I'll give you a better example. Better example is if you are selling, you have two sales channels. You have direct sales and you have a partner sales or channel sales, okay? So at the moment, if someone comes in from direct, then the objects that we have in HubSpot are perfect because you have a contact, you have a company, and you have a deal. I can manage that entire funnel from when someone comes in as a person, leaves their email, gives us the information so we know which company they belong to. That's object one, object two. And then when we move down the funnel, we close the deal with them, then I can use a third object. But a partner, if someone comes in as a partner, so the partner itself, where do I put that person? Or where do I put that entity? Because it's a company as well. There could be a contact that's connected to the partner, and there could be deals that are connected to the partner. But how do I differentiate and build separate funnels in that sense? So the way a partner would come in is that a partner would come in and I would say, someone fills out a form. I found out that this person could be two things. So the first stage, this person fills out a form, but this person came through the partner. And the partner calls me up and says, hang on a second, this is not your direct selling process. This is coming back through me. I asked him to go to the website, or I gave you the details. I want to track as a company how many deals are actually closed through that partner. And if I have multiple partners, that's when it starts making sense that I have a separate object. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll actually go in and say, it makes more sense now for me to have a new object called partner. Maybe I should show the screen.
Sure.
An
So
example.
for example, so that example is great. So if I have multiple deals across multiple partners, um, an example of the type of report that I could then I could create a commission report by which deals that were closed through which partner, and then I could create a report around that. Can you give
Correct.
Can you give an example of a type of an automation that you could build around that?
So what we started doing already is we have direct sales, and then we have few partners that we work with. Under contacts now, what exists suddenly, we have companies, contacts, deals. We'll talk about marketing events at a different stage, tickets, as you said, and then partners. So here you can see that it's exactly like the contacts in that. So now we have a partner. We can have whatever fields we want. We can create as many fields as we want, and we can customize as many fields as we want. We can manage the properties. Suddenly now I have partner properties, and I can add all these properties just like I did with any other object on the one hand. On the other hand, if I go back, we've decided when we created it that this object, which is partner, can be connected to 3 other objects. Why? Because the partner itself is whatever the name is. There could be, but we still need to connect the people. So if there's a partner program in the sense that these people are actually going to try and bring us more business. So what we want to do is we want to be able to connect between the people that are coming into our database on 3 different levels. The contact that fills out a form or is added manually by the sales team, the company that they belong to, and the deal that is created. Okay. So the only way to connect between these 3 objects to an external object to say, I want to attribute all of the deals, and I want to be able to say that all these people belong to this partner, okay, from day one, instead of having a field each time that says partner A, partner B, it becomes very complicated. All I've done now is we've created this new object called partners, and then I can just go and see, okay, hang on a second, in the database, which person is associated to this partner. In other words, which contact was actually brought into the database via the sales work or marketing work or anything of the partner itself. Because again, these partners are external people that are not our sales team. So if a person is your sales team, then I don't need an external one because I have owner, I have salesperson, and I can connect it that way. But if this is an external person that I need to manage, and I want to see on the one hand how many deals were created over time and how much business, and if I have some kind of, as you said, commission that I go and pay this partner over time, then I can manage this here because I'll be able to, add fields that talk about the commission. I'll be able to see which deals are connected, which contacts, which companies, and I can also do automation. So for example, if I have a specific partner form, let's say this is the partner form, doesn't make a difference. What I can actually even go and do is that anyone that fills out this form, which is I know is my partner form, and this is a partner form that we can actually give to the partners that they either fill out themselves for their potential deals, or they send to the customers and the customers fill out, if they want a demo, for example, their end customer. So that, let's say they filled out that form. What we can actually do is we can do automation, and we can actually say, okay, if someone came through this partner form, we know that this is a potential deal through a partner. The information will go into the database, a company will be created, a contact will be created, a deal won't be created yet, but let's create a partner. Okay. In other words, I don't want to create the partner, but I want to connect it. So we can connect it to the partner name. So the partner name will be connected here and to this person. That's one way of doing it. We can associate it to the partner. So I can connect it automatically so it goes into the relevant partner. And another thing we can do is, let's say this was not a form for potential deals, but this is a form for potential partners. And we want to automate the process. So we have a partner form that says, please leave your details. Everyone that fills out this form is a potential partner, not the end customer. And then what we could do is what I showed you before, is we could actually automatically create a new partner based on the form. So if they fill out a company, we can take the company from this is taking from the form.
Right.
It's a company name, and we can add more information. And this can actually associate this person and their company, okay, because usually it's a person in the company, and then open a partner. So what will happen is they will automate that process.
How complicated was it to create a new custom object?
So the creation of the custom new object is using the HubSpot API, and there's in the backend, it's not that complicated, but there is some development needs that need to know how to go in and work with the API. But so let's assume that gets done. It's not that complicated. Then you have your new partner. But before that, what you need to do is, so as you said before, you need to, first of all, make sure that you came to the conclusion that a new object, custom object, is the right solution for you. Because one, as you said, maybe let's just create another field. I don't need an object. The other option is that maybe I can pull the data through an integration partner, through one of the apps. So for example, if we go into contact, let's look at our database. I want to create an object. So all of these are objects, okay? I want to create an object that's called signed documents, because I want to connect all of those signed documents to a specific contact or deal. So the second option is to go and look under the apps into the marketplace. Instead of creating an object, there might be a partner or a connected app that will actually automatically connect that for me. And then,
what's the pros and cons? I mean, the pros you've talked a lot about. Why not just create more objects? Like, what's the downside of it?
So once you've answered those two questions, you come to the conclusion that you need the object. It's very important that it just doesn't sit there, because you don't just want objects sitting there for no reason. Once I know that I need partners and I'm going to use partners, and I know how to use partners, okay? So the second thing is that partners must be agreed upon, the name, by everyone it's clear that this is a partner in the sense of Penguin's business, and not a partner as who is Zoran Rotberg married to, lifetime partner. Okay, so that's the first thing. The second thing is that I need to also understand the connections. So what you usually do is you go and actually build out a process, what's called an ERD, which is an entity relationship diagram. And you make sure that it's clear, okay, between the different, how your new partner, for example, is going to be connected. Is it going to be connected? So here you can see something interesting. A contact and a company is only one-to-one, not one-to-many. See, HubSpot's done that as a default. I cannot connect Zoran to two companies. He can only be in one company. So partner, you need to make a decision when you build this, how it's going to connect with everyone. Can Zoran be connected to several partners or not? The answer should be no. The connection that you work out with when you build out the diagram is that between contact and partner, just like contact and company, it should be one-to-one. But deal, there could be many. Okay. So a partner itself, if I go back into partners, obviously we're going to have multiple contacts and multiple deals. So the other way needs to be one-to-many. So that is what you need to build out. That's the second stage before you start working. One, the definition, the name of the actual object so that it's clear to everyone. Two, the association in which way it goes between your other objects. So is it one-to-one or one-to-many or both ways? And 3 is to start actually defining what you want to actually pop up one on the right-hand side here, okay? So here in the company, you see this is the information that they show you before you click preview. How much information do I want to show here? We have control of that as well. See, they decided as a default that there'll be it makes sense that I don't have to click out, that I want the phone number. But I could add any property here. So that's also part of the setup.
Try just to give one more use case that that just came to me as you were explaining it. So if I was let's say a recruiter, okay, so my customers might be all kinds of companies that need employees or need CVs, but on the other hand, so I'm trying to market and bring in companies that'll need my services, and in those customers, there's employees that I might be working with, HR managers, but on the other hand, I'm trying to market to recruits.
Correct. If you have both sides of the market.
So would it make sense to create a different entity for them so that I would be managing both sides of the house separately?
I'm a recruiter, okay, and I want to manage 2 sides, the supply and demand.
Right.
So I'm the recruiter and I have contacts, which are the people that are actually applying for jobs. And then on the other hand, I need to manage the whole process with the companies that are looking for people. So I could use company, but it doesn't really work because people are filling out emails, and Perry works at Penguin and he's a company that needs people. So he's going to be a contact, but he shouldn't be a contact, he should be an employee. So I would have that separate object and then I would be able to connect that as well. I wanted to give another quick example is events. If I'm an event company, I'm selling virtual events or live events, then contacts, company, and deals don't really help me because it's a deal around the event. But the one thing that has to be connected to those all 3 other objects is the actual event, which is a one-time thing. And I want to connect all those people with people signing up for events. So I can't use deals because then it becomes complicated. So that's a perfect example. So again, go back to kind of the basics. All objects have properties can be associated to other objects. That is the idea. They represent a specific type of thing. Your business has a process for tracking. That is the definition that I was looking for at the beginning. Okay. If you come to the conclusion that it's a specific type of thing that your business has a process for tracking, then you can create a new object.